Listen, have you ever noticed how in the same industry, some businesses can charge significantly more than others for what appears to be the exact same service? It's not magic, it's not luck, and it's definitely not about working harder. My name is John Sharana. I'm the co founder of Wit and Craft, and I'm the creator of the Brand Lab. And today I'm sharing what I've observed about pricing patterns in small businesses, specifically what we are calling the 80/20 rule of premium pricing. Okay, so over the years, I've noticed some very interesting pattern. In most industries, roughly 80% of those businesses within that industry bubble compete primarily on price, while about 20% manage to command premium rates. And what's fascinating is that these businesses that command those premium rates, that 20%, often provide services of similar quality or lesser quality. The difference isn't necessarily in what they deliver, the difference is in how they position what they deliver. So let me share what I've observed. Many businesses in the same field have similar expertise and can achieve similar results for clients, yet their pricing structures vary dramatically. Why? It comes down to a fundamental mindset shift that premium positioned businesses understand. Price isn't primarily about cost or effort, it's about perceived value and positioning. The majority think, that's the 80%, they think, what's a fair price for my time and effort? They're trading time for money. The minority ask, what's the value of the transformation I bring to my clients? That shift in perspective changes everything. So let's look at the three most common positioning mistakes that the 80% are making. Number one, generic service descriptions. Many businesses describe their services in ways that make them sound like everyone else. They use the same industry jargon, similar claims about quality and service, and general promises. When you sound like everyone else, you're more likely to compete on price because you haven't given prospects any other meaningful way to choose you. Put another way, you haven't given your prospects a reason to choose you over the competition. That's a huge mistake. And number two, we're focusing on process instead of outcomes. Does this sound familiar? Like our proprietary 6-step approach ensures quality, dot, 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 dot. Many businesses emphasize their process, their methodology, their approach, and they assume that the clients care deeply about how they work. In my experience, with our Brand Lab clients, I've found that most of their clients could care less about their process, but they do care about the specific outcomes that you bring. They care about the transformation that you provide, the problems that you solve, and the results that you can create for them. And the third mistake, maybe the most important here, is failing to define a specific audience. Many businesses try to appeal to everyone. They're understandably concerned about narrowing their focus because they don't want to miss potential opportunities. But I'm here to tell you, when you try to be everything to everyone, it becomes difficult, so difficult to be special to anyone. You risk becoming that commodity. And we know that commodities compete on price. So let's flip this around. What do the premium positioned businesses do instead? What do the 20% that are commanding the premium prices, what do they do over the 80%? Well, number one, they position around problems and not services. The 20% don't just sell services, they sell solutions to specific problems. They frame their work around the challenges they solve rather than simply services that they offer. For example, you could say we offer branding services. The 20% would say, we help service-based businesses stop competing on price by clarifying what makes them truly different. You see the difference? One describes a service, the other addresses a specific pain point. Number two, they define a distinct market category. Now, this is really important. The 20% that command the premium rates often clearly define the category they serve or even create a subcategory that they can own. Businesses that can clearly articulate their specific market position tend to face less price sensitivity. When you clearly define your category, you become a more obvious choice for clients who identify with that category. Okay, strategy number three. You must speak your client's language. The 20% very clearly understand the language of their ICP. When I say ICP, I mean ideal client profile. And they speak the language. They stay away from the industry jargon. They discuss what their clients already value and desire and worry about, the wants, needs, aspirations of their ICP. They speak to the fears, the pain, the frustrations that they're experiencing. They meet clients where they are and connect with services directly to outcomes clients are already seeking. And they use the terminology that resonates most with their specific audience because they understand their audience. So here's a real example for you. This is from our work with Croze Nest. My buddy Joe Smith, he's a barrel manufacturer, barrel maker. When he came to us, he had some materials that currently existed out there, some sort of brand like logos and that sort of thing, but it didn't capture the essence of who he was and what his company stood for. He couldn't articulate his value. And so though he had sold one barrel in, he was having trouble selling any more, which was a big problem. And his focus was on perfecting his craft of barrel making rather than marketing himself or like perfecting his message or what the specific problems that he solves for his ICP. He didn't really even understand who his ICP was. So let's take a look at the industry. The barrel making industry is dominated by three major factories that supply the world's largest distilleries. And if Croze Nest tried to compete directly, they would have been crushed on volume and pricing. Through our work together, we helped position Croze Nest not just as a barrel maker, but as a critical ingredient supplier for the craft microdistillers. We developed the positioning statement, we exist to help make the best bourbons for microdistillers. Not we exist to make barrels. We exist to help make the best bourbons for the micro distillers. This positioning transformed how their customers, how the Croze Nest customer perceived their barrels. They went from being containers to the key ingredient in making a special, a unique bourbon that was going to win awards. And the result? Croze Nest has grown to being sold out every year. There's a waiting list for micro distillers that want to get his barrel. He's being talked about at trade shows. He commands his premium prices. He's able to charge double what the factories are creating because he's positioned as a premium ingredient and not that commodity container. So here's a quick exercise that you can do to start shifting your positioning to command premium rates. You can do this today. It's a practical exercise that we use within our Brand Lab framework, and we call it the only statement. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to fill in the blanks of this sentence. Your company is the only, enter your category, that, and then enter your unique differentiator, the one thing that makes you different. Doing this, being able to complete this sentence, can help you articulate two very important things. One, what category you're in, or the category that you want to create. And two, what makes you truly different in a way that matters to your ICP. For Croze Nest, this is, we are the only barrel manufacturer that specializes in crafting custom white oak barrels specifically designed to enhance the unique character of craft bourbon. And look, when you can clearly articulate what makes you the only in your category, you've taken that first step to commanding those premium rates. So the difference between the 80% that are competing on price and those that command premium rates isn't necessarily about working harder or even being objectively better. It's about positioning yourself differently. And so what I want you to do is position around the problems that you solve, not the services that you have. I want you to define a distinct category that you can own. And I want you to speak your client's language, not the industry jargon. These are the strategies that can help you shift from competing on price to standing out on value. Now, if you're interested in the exact framework that we use to help our clients go from swimming in that sea of sameness, blending in with the competition, to having a real unique competitive advantage within their market, go ahead and click on the next video. I'm going to walk you through the exact framework that we use step by step.